Hello. Hello. Welcome to another live stream of Omencraft Productions. I hope everybody can hear me all right. That's not the one that I wanted. So I'm going to be trying to finish up this Pokeball because I want to assemble it. But that means I have to paint it first. Yeah. I got a bunch of different things that I still have to kind of put together. I need to get some sandpaper. Oh. So how's everybody's evening? I hope everybody's doing good tonight. This has been a week and a half in the making. Almost 2 weeks since the last time I did this live stream. I do have to say, though, I hate where I place the mic. Okay, 120, 150, 180. 240. 30. I think. No, because I think last week I did, I went all the way up to 600. Yeah, I went all the way up to 600 on this. I am making it so that you guys cannot see a single thing I'm doing. Okay. So I made it so that, that this one went up to 600 grit. No, I think I actually did 1500. So it is like uber smooth. And the reason that I wanted that is because with this, I want it to be completely flat so that when I airbrush it, you won't see any of the lines that are created when it's 3D printing. But I still have to kind of, for the most part, I'm just going to be knocking this stuff down. I don't really want to do, because this is the interior, so these go inside this. So really the only part that you're going to see is this part right here, because these fit in. So, is that the... Well, yeah, so these fit in there. So what I'm looking for is I want these really smooth. So the only parts that you're going to see of this one are right around these rings. Is it getting... I hope it's... So right around these rings is where it's going to show. And so I don't want that showing when I put it here, in here, because that's not gonna... Okay, 1 second, guys. Let me fix this camera. I see that it's given a hard time with the autofocusing. And let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I don't want it to be autofocused because obviously that's not working. So this whole setup that I'm on right now is, it's still a work in progress. It's still kind of coming in and out of, there we go. Okay. So anyway, so yeah, so what I want to do is I want to knock back the support lines from when I 3D printed this. And I talked about this last time, so I won't really go too into it. But yeah, like I said, I'm trying to get this knocked back enough that you can't see these things, because I don't want it when I'm doing the final assembly. I want it to be completely flat. So the little doohickeys that I'm cutting off are from when the printing was done. This thing gets held up on supports, and so those supports, what they do is they allow the 3D print to not deflate on itself, or makes it so that things don't mess up, because obviously it can't print in midair. So I'm gonna get this done really quick, so that we can move right along to painting, because I gotta tell you, I am getting impatient, and that's me, Mrs. Impatient. Mrs. Impatient. So I don't know how much I'm really hoping that we can get this done today, so that we don't have to go into a third live stream. And the reason for that is because I actually have another live stream planned that I want to do, for this month. So I need to really hustle to get this thing done. I'm sure you guys don't want to have to see a third live stream of me putting this stupid ball together. And if you guys could too, share the link to my channel. I am trying to, I'm so used to saying we from Spirit Talk. I am trying to really gain some following, and right now it's by word of mouth. So, that would be humongous help if people could share the video. And don't forget to subscribe also, because I'm gonna have some pretty cool stuff coming out soon. I got a diorama that I'm making, and the diorama is it's a really cool project. I can't wait to show you guys. It's actually something that I just started doing. And that first video will be out in mid-April, I think, is when it's gonna air. So like right now, like there's a lot of like little supports that are caught up in the corners of this thing. I over supported this one because I'm impatient and I do not like having to reprint something more than once. And please let me know if you can hear me okay. Okay. So, we're moving right along. We're gonna get the outside of this sanded, done. Hopefully get it sanded down to where I want it fairly quickly so that we can move right on to painting. So I did decide that I'm going to make this so that I'm going to do another live stream. It's not going to be within the next couple of months because I already did this one, but I will be doing another... That's the wrong thing. I will be doing another live stream that will be me doing a Pokeball, another Pokeball, but instead of me using a 3D print, because not everybody is going to have a 3D printer, and the link for this particular print is actually in the first video, but I'll also update this one as well and put it in the description for you guys. So if anybody does have a 3D printer or whatnot and you want to do this, it'll be there for you guys to grab. And so the next one of the other live streams that I want to do, it'll probably be in a couple of months, is it's going to be me remaking this, except instead of remaking it with a 3D print, I'm actually going to show you how to make it with just regular objects that you can get from a craft store. Because I actually did have someone that watched the video, the live stream. They did ask me what else could you make this out of if you don't have a 3D printer. And I said, well, there's plenty of other things that you can do. So like you could use styrofoam balls, you could use what is it, foam core. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of ways to do it. I think I'm gonna do it again with foam core next time though. Okay, so that one's good. We're gonna jump right up to 240. I don't feel like sanding through. So I'm just getting these ones kind of just knocked down, sanded, looking nice. I'm not going to pay too heavy mind to them, only because there's no real need to pay, because most of this, from like here down, it's going to be covered up anyway. So I don't want to really spend a whole lot of time on these when we could be doing the fun thing, which is painting. I am going to be using an airbrush for painting, but you can use, regular paints. I'll show you some of the paints that, I would use if I was going to be doing this via paintbrush. So I'm going to go up to, I think, 320 on this one, and then I might, and let me know, like, if you guys can't hear me or you can't see something, please let me know. I will definitely try to get this guy a little more over for you. There we go. Oh, that's my mic cord. I'm like, what the heck is in the frame? So this is it, but I enjoy this kind of stuff. It reminds me of model building. Like, I guess in a way it is model building. Well, yeah, duh, it is, yeah. But it reminds me of kind of like some of the things that I used to do when I was growing up as a kid. And that's actually why I think I picked this particular project, is because Pokemon was my generation. And I figured we're a weirdy kind of craft channel, so it just made more sense to do it this way. Start with a bang. Kicking off with a bang. But yeah, no. So, once the sanding is done, I really should be wearing a mask doing this, but I'm not because I'm, looking to ingest resin. I think this one is almost good to go. I'm just gonna knock this back just a little bit because it has some little spiky thingies. When I was making these 3D prints, I accidentally because I started doing one, like I started assembling one, and I wound up deciding not to assemble one because I wanted to keep my reaction to this as pure as possible. So, but before I decided that, I had actually made, 4 of these. 4? Yeah, 4. So I had made 4 of these. I broke 2 of the tops of the inserts, which is what I'm working on. I broke 2 of the inserts because I squeezed them a little too hard when I was taking them off the supports from the 3D printer. Oh, I was so mad because it took... Some prints take a while to make, and these were no exception to that. The longest print that I've had so far is 16 and a half hours is the longest print I've had. Took 16 and a half hours to get done. It was crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And at the last, hour, the print failed. Oh. The words that were coming out of me. Literally last hour, the printer failed. I was so mad. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to call that done. Okay, so the biggest thing that I've noticed with 3D prints is you have to wipe them down. So you use rubbing alcohol in the final curing stages. But I have found that when you sand these, you need to really get in there with some rubbing alcohol, because if you don't and you leave any of that dust and it clings, sometimes the dust will cling inside the model. If you don't clean that correctly, what will happen is you'll see the dust from you sanding, and that drives me insane. I had a print that did that, and I had to sand it all back down again and redo it in order to get it to work. So definitely keeping your project clean is essential. Now, the outside of this, I'm caring more about the top of it than I am the top and the inside than I am the rest of it, because, like I said before, you're not going to see any of this. This is all going to be inside, tucked inside, out of look. Nobody can see it. So I love projects like these where you can kind of sort of hide your mistakes inside something else. Okay, I'm gonna give this one more little wipe down. Pick up all the dust that was scattered. Okay, so like I said, for me, I'm gonna be airbrushing. I have the airbrush, so I kind of I want to use it like really bad because I just got this new paint that is so freaking cool. It does it's a metallic, but it's supposed to be kind of like a mirror finish. So, here are all my airbrush stuff. Did it not make it in here? Oh no. I will be so mad if I cannot find my airbrush paint. Is that it? No, that's chipping medium. One second, guys. I gotta try to find my paint. I thought I had put it in here, but I'm not seeing it. Blue. No. As you can tell, I have... This is all airbrush paint. So there's no other regular, like, traditional paints in this. I do not know where that airbrush paint went to. I could have sworn I just had it sitting here, like, an hour ago. Where, oh where would this paint have gone? Okay, because if it's not there... So if it's not there, it would be over here somewhere. Okay, hold on one second, guys. I gotta try to find this paint. Okay, I found it. Sorry, guys. Um, it was in there. It was just in a other spot that I somehow missed. So yeah. So this paint it's a metallic, so it's really cool. It's supposed to give like a glass like shine to it. I just don't know how. I am moving that over there because I do not want my iPad getting paint on it. So normally how I would do this is I would put up a spray booth where I would spray, the airbrush into, and it sucks all the vapors and stuff out. But because of my setup here, I don't have room for that, so I am actually going to be using my respirator. So you might not be able to hear me too well. But yeah, so the definitely wear a respirator. You don't want like these. I'm not sure with these ones in particular if they're. I think these ones are water based. I think they're acrylic, so I don't think that they'll be a problem because most acrylic paints aren't. But I don't want to take the risk, so my lungs need to stay pure. So what I'm doing now is I use double-sided tape to kind of, especially with small things like this, I don't want this stuff to be moving around because, believe it or not, the airbrush, like if I were to do that, the airbrush could potentially move this. You know what? No, we're gonna do. We're gonna do. We're gonna do these little guys first. So these guys, these little cool little things, these go inside. This is actually what is the chrome. What's gonna be the chrome pieces. And so these things will move around. Like if I do this, watch this. So they go flying. Let me see. What the? Okay, so yeah, so this I got two different kinds, so I haven't quite decided which one I want to do yet. I have a chrome and I have a gunmetal, and both of them are supposed to have like a high gloss finish to them. So I am kind of waiting. I want to see what they look like. So this is the gunmetal, and that's the chrome. I think we're going to do the chrome. I think we're going to try the chrome, see how the chrome works, and if I don't like the chrome, then I have more of these little doohickeys and we can paint some more. Okay, come on. Alright, I gotta put on my respirator because I don't feel like turning my lungs chrome. Ooh, that does look kind of nice. I don't think this is gonna be that mirror finish that I was hoping for as I put my finger in the stupid thing. Oh my god, I sound like Darth Vader. Luke, I am your father. Well, hello. Ugh. Really? Everything just decided right now that it wants to fall on me. I forgot some supports. So, we're not going to use that one. We don't like that one anymore. It has supports still in it. So we're going to use that one. Oh, sweet. I'm saying maybe it will give me that mirror finish that I'm looking for. What do you think? Yeah? Yeah? Give me the mirror finish, baby. Oh. Okay. I may... Yes, I use my gloves as a testing station. Oh my god. That does kind of look cool. It looks a little cool. It doesn't look... It's not as bright as I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a really high gloss, but that's not going to happen with just this. So I'm going to have to do a varnish on it. Sweet. I have these like quick connect things on my airbrush, and I keep managing to hit it and the airbrush falls off the hose. Sweet. Go back on and stay on. Hey, I found the ugly one. This is one that failed. I didn't even notice it until just now. It failed. The print failed. Yep. Good. I just painted that for nothing. Are any of the other ones like that? Oh, just that one. Oh! You... Come on. Breaking things. I think it looks good. I don't mind the color. It's definitely, it's in the direction that I want, but I'm definitely gonna have to put a varnish on this because I'm not gonna get it to that high gloss finish. Oh, oh my God, sweet Jesus. Wearing a respirator sucks. I gotta clean it because I'm gonna switch over to another paint. Yeah, so it's definitely. I don't know if you were able to hear me with the what do you call it? The stupid respirator over my face, but it's giving kind of the effect that I want. I want it to be a lot more shinier. So what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to get this to a high shine, but I'm gonna have to use a lacquer for that, and I am. You can't pay me to do lacquer inside a house, even with a respirator. That stuff is nasty. It's like the grossest smelling stuff in the world. Well, at least in the paint world. Um, Let me see. Oh, that's what's happening. Okay. No, you were detaching from yourself, not from the. Oh my goodness. So this is partly why, though, I wanted to do airbrushing as opposed to regular painting, because airbrush paint dries fairly quickly. And it's because it goes on in very smooth, even layers. So it allows you to build up the paint a little bit quicker. It also depends on the paint. Like I did use one paint. I think it was by who was it by? It might have been by Wicked, and it was a metallic, well, kind of a metallic. It was a like a pearlescent paint, and the pearlescent paint, it took forever. It literally took forever. Like I swear that I was gonna die of old age before that thing dried. Okay. All right, little doohickeys, you can come off. You're gonna go over there. And see, for the most part, these are pretty much almost already dry, and that's what I love. Especially with like Vallejo paints, which is what I'm using. Vallejo paint dries airbrush paint specifically. I don't know too much about their regular stuff, but airbrush paint dries with Vallejo very, very quickly. I use a lot of Vallejo products. It's one of my favorite brands to use. Okay, so these next ones. Oh, good. Come on, Bob. Stick. What color was the interior of this thing? What did I say that it was gonna be? The interior. So the interior is gonna be white. I mean red. So that's not gonna work. That's gonna have to go over there. Come on. Okay, so we're doing white and red. Jesus, that's a crimson red. Nobody wants a crimson. That's a varnish. Where's the white? There it is. Okay, so we're gonna start with the red first. Get back over there. I didn't ask you to come follow. It's not your turn. Okay, so So yeah, so the exterior of this, of the inner shell, is going to be red, and that's for this area here. So if you look around the circle, this line, these slot in like this. So this is the outer shell, and this is the inner shell. So you're not going to really be seeing a whole lot except up at the top. I don't know if I want to make this red DACA. Or if I want to use it straight. We'll try it straight and see what happens. If I don't like it, I can always repaint it. So really, the only areas that I'm gonna be concerned about is along this edge here and a little bit over here. Do I want to paint that? No, because I don't want to have to mask. Me and masking, we are not. Me and masking tape are not friends. I hate masking tape with a passion. Fiery passion. I have masking tape. Do I use masking tape? No, I do not. Alright. I'm gonna be Darth Vader again. Oh my god. Okay. So really what all I'm doing is I'm getting the outer edge that I know is going to show from the inner case. The rest of this here, the reason I'm not painting it is because you're not going to see it. Okay. I'm gonna need to put a little more on that side. I don't like it. And then we can move on to the white. Now, I could technically flip it over if I wanted um, to do this half, but I would rather let this pot dry first before I go messing with it. Even though these things do tend to dry fairly quickly, I just kind of, I'm not saying that I'm in a rush per se, but I do want to try to get to assembling today. Um, I don't think we're going to wind up being able to do. I don't think we're going to be able to do the. We're definitely not going to be able to do the electronics. Dang it. Dang it. So I'm going to get these guys painted. I'm going to get these guys painted. They're white color. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm then going to let this stuff dry overnight. I will finish any touch-ups that I may need to do off camera, and then I will do another live stream within the next couple of days, and that live stream will be doing the electronics. Well, assembly and electronics. But I'm going to get rid of all of the boring painting and stuff like that because you've already seen it. This thing is deceptive. When I picked this thing, I didn't actually pick it thinking that it was going to take so long to do this. I was like, oh, it's small, small. It doesn't require a whole lot. And then you actually get to it, and it's like, no, you little deceptive bastard. And so, just to show you, these guys, these are already dry. And for the most part, that's dry too. This is why I love airbrush paint. But if I were to have done this with regular paint, I would use, so I have this. So this is by Folk Art. I love Plaid brand. Absolutely love Plaid brand. Their Folk Art in particular, it's very, very, very pigmented. And I absolutely love it because it covers fairly evenly. So you'll see that I do use a lot of Folk Art brand. I do use some off brands as well. There's a company that I like that they what do they do? They have their line of, I think it's called their summer line or something like that. It's this thing that has all of their stuff in it, all of the cool summer colors, some of the warm tones and the beachy tones and stuff like that. But anyway, I like that particular one. Next time I'll have to, when I do one of my maybe I'll do a Q&A one day where I can sit down and answer questions for you guys as to the kind of tools and stuff that I use. Where do I get things? I try to put everything in the descriptions of what I use, but I do tend to sometimes forget things. So maybe one of these days I can do a Q&A. Once I get some videos out and you guys see some of the things that I use. So I'm just getting the color out. I don't want any of that red coming through because the next color that I'm going to be using is white. And I do not want a red white. I want a white. So, ow. So we're going to do this. Double-sided sticky tape is my best friend. I love double-sided sticky tape. I almost called it duct tape. I almost called it duct tape. Yeah, this is duct tape. Okay, so we're moving right along pretty good now. Just a little bit of oil. It helps kind of. Last time I used the airbrush, I must have not cleaned it right because it was looking like it was going to clog. So sometimes the oil kind of helps lubricate it a little bit. There we go. Okay, so onto the white we go. Onto the white. You can go back up there. Believe it or not, this desk is organized. It's just long and awkward at times, so we're gonna get this. We'll get this done so that you can see what the top looks like painted. And I'm really excited to show you guys this. And the reason for that is because I went down to the 1500 grit paper, sandpaper. And the reason that I did that is because I knew that this was going to be what they call the hero side of the object, where everybody's going to see it. So I really took my time. Well, right now I'm apparently I really took my time with, making sure that they were sanded the correct way. And I know there's a certain person in the room right now that's probably laughing. Yes, it's live. Can you hear me okay? I'll have to teach you how to use the YouTube chat. Oh my god, I just... So, I'm done with that. So yeah, I want to show you guys how... I'm most excited about this one because I want to show you how it looks when it's painted like this, because it should paint up really nice. Forgot my respirator. Just 1 second. Okay, so here we go. So for the top, I'm gonna do I'm gonna kind of do it in small stages because I really want the top to be as perfect as we can possibly get it. But so I want to make sure that the paint has adequate enough time to dry before I move onto the second coat. So I'm going to let that one dry and I'm going to start on this one. And I love the color scheme of this particular one because it's such a very simplistic and easy color to do. Now, one of the other live streams that I have planned, I'm going to be showing you how to do weathering techniques. Um, Let me take this respirator off. I'm going to be doing weathering techniques for the next live stream, and the I'm going to show you how you can utilize just simple basic craft paints to make things look like they're old. And that one I am going to be using regular paints for when I set up the project. I will be putting out a post on our our Facebook page, and in there it's going to show the tools that I'm going to be using, the paints, the materials that I'm going to get, and I will put that out a week or so before we do that particular live stream. That way that if you guys want to follow along or want to do stuff, you'll be able to do it. But it'll be a fun project. It'll be a fun little project, and definitely can't wait to do that one because this one is just more along the lines of you guys just kind of watching. But the next live stream, it will be a live tutorial for you guys so that you can follow along with what I'm doing because I know some people like to do that. But anyway, going back into Darth Vader mode. yeah, so I'm just trying to kind of get, all of this painted, and then next live stream will be in hopefully a couple of days. Hopefully within a couple of days I'll be able to do the next live stream. I will have the rest of this stuff painted by then, and we'll just be able to jump right into doing the rest of the assembly and getting to the final finale, which is going to be the electronics. And you have no idea how hard it has been to contain myself from wanting to do the electronics. So right now I'm on technically the third coat, and I'm just doing small, even passes. And it's because I really want to make sure that the outside of this stays as perfect as I can possibly get it. And so doing small little circles, I'm distributing the paint a little bit better, a little more evenly. And I am at a lower PSI on my airbrush settings, so it's not gonna spit things. And so once I get this finished and painted, I'll take off my Darth Vader mask, and you can actually hear me. Okay. Oh, that's enough. That's enough of the painting. I cannot take that Darth Vader mask anymore. Whew. It is hot in that thing. It's one of those humongous friggin' respirators. So I got this because it was said to me to grab it. So I got it. I hate it, but it saves my lungs. Not that that really matters, but okay. So what we have now is, so this is what I was talking about with the way that I sanded this. The reason that I was so meticulous, and the reason that I went through all of the steps I went all the way up to 1500 grit sandpaper. And it's because I wanted this to be as perfect as possible, especially with it being white. The if there were a lot of bumps and ridges and things like that would create shadow, and you would definitely see that on this. And so I wanted to try to really make sure that it was as smooth and flat as possible. And like right there, I have a little divot that I can fill. I'll probably wind up using this, which is a two-part epoxy. I'll probably put a little bit in, fill it, sand it back, and then paint over it again. So this is going to be the rough paint. I might show a little bit of the final painting, possibly, but this thing is stretching out. I think now we're going to be going into three live streams when I come back and do the electronics. I was really, really hoping to get this done in two. But that's just it. This project is becoming a little bit more of a pain in the butt than I realized. So, but basically what I'm going to do now is I am going to let all of this stuff dry. I will be putting out a post soon as to when I am going to come back on. But for now, I think I'm going to, for now I'm going to stop. Some of these things are still a little tacky, but I'm able to touch it, which is a good thing. So, what I'm going to wind up doing off camera is I'm going to finish around the inner edges. I'm going to do the interior and of both these two and these two and get them done and sorted out. And then from there, I'm going to put the gloss coat on these little mirror looking things. I will put, the gloss coat on these, get these really shiny the way that I wanted to. The chrome did work. So it worked actually a lot better than I was anticipating. It's a pretty high sheen, but I still wanted a little higher than that. So what I'm going to be using for that is either this lacquer, which is it tends to be really, really good. But I won't even open this bottle without a respirator on because it's that potent. I also have a Vallejo, a Vallejo varnish that I will also that I could potentially use. But so what I'm going to do is off camera, I'm going to do these, get these guys done and have that varnish put on. I would do it for you on camera, but I can't really set up the spray booth where I'm at. And this is something that with the kind of lacquer that it is, and it's coming out of an airbrush, so it's made specifically for the airbrush, to get that high sheen I want, I don't feel comfortable spraying that stuff in the house without a spray booth because it's very toxic. So these I'm going to wind up doing off camera, and I'm going to finish these guys here. I'll do off camera, as well as this. And then when I come back in a few days, we'll put everything together, assemble it, do the electronics, and this thing should be done. So, yep, so all of this is going to dry. And I have a feeling, I think, so if today is Friday, I think I'll probably do the third live stream on Sunday at the same time. That way that it'll give me time to finish this, get these things, fully painted, and get the lacquer put on the little mirror things, and then we can really focus on assembly and the electronics, which is, I am so excited for the electronics. Like, I cannot tell you how excited I am. I've been itching. It's been so hard to contain myself from wanting to, kind of come in here in the middle of the night and be like, oh, I can just do it off camera. No, I know you guys. I know I have some people that are waiting to see me do the electronics. But this is actually one of the battery holders that's going to be the piece that let me try to see if I can get this cleaned up a little bit, because I'm not sure if you guys can see that too well. But so this thing here, this is the same thing as this. So this is the painted one. This is the one that's going to be used for the final project. But this one here was a mock-up, and it was a misprint. But I needed to figure out how to attach the battery holder to the insert. And so the way that I came up with is there's these little holes at the bottom. And so I found these little guys, and they have little holes here, these little prong things, and they just so happen to match up with those little holes. And then I have to solder the wires here. So all of the wires will be, if you look, I don't know if you can see it, but if you look closely, there's that hole is where the wires come feeding through. It's going to be cool. There'll be a little light and everything in the front. And don't forget that the Pokeball that you see me making now is going to be a giveaway. So make sure that I think the rules are up on our Facebook page. But this project, as our first, kind of video, I wanted to do something a little bit special. And so this particular project will be a giveaway. So the one that you see me working on is actually the one that is going to be in the giveaway. And I will ship it. Sadly, I can't ship outside of the US just yet because I haven't figured out the logistics of that. I know I do have a couple of friends that watch that are kind of angry because they're from the UK. I'm sorry, and I will get you. I will get stuff to you. But as far as this one, I will ship it anywhere in the United States. I think I can also ship to Canada, but I don't think I have anybody from Canada. But yeah, so this one will be given away. It'll look fairly similar to this when it's done. The only thing is this little ball, this little centerpiece, will actually light up. And I'm kind of curious, so I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Do you guys want to see me put LEDs, little LED lights inside it too? Or do you want me to just leave it as that and only have that light up? But yeah, so check out our Facebook, look at the rules, and what else? I think that's it. Yep. So all the rules are on Facebook for the giveaway. But trying to think. I think that there was one more thing, and now I can't remember what it is. I'll probably remember it once the camera's off. But thank you guys for coming. Thank you for watching. I will be back. I think I'm going to wind up coming back on Sunday. I'll have the rest of this stuff painted. Everything will be ready to assemble. The electronic stuff will be out, and we can get kind of right into it then, and hopefully get this thing assembled, and then give it out to a lucky winner, which will be randomly generated. So I won't be picking the name myself. It'll be randomly generated by the generated by a little app thing that I have for my YouTube channel. But if this is your first time here, please subscribe. There will be more content like this coming out fairly soon. I did say in the beginning, I don't know if anybody else saw it, but the next project, the actual pre-recorded big project that I have going on right now, will be releasing the middle of April, kind of sort of right around there. And there will be another project that will be posted most likely within a couple of weeks of that one. So from that point forward, I am hoping to release a new episode every 2 weeks. I'm Might try to stretch it to every week, but I haven't quite decided if I want to have that much of a commitment yet. And so, but thank you guys for coming.